comic whole crew is in effect. Good evening, everyone. We are live. We've got Al, aka Dusty Brick Brown, is in the building. We've got Big Revo is in the building. Coming out.
I just want to clap.
Yeah. Hey, you already know where I was going. Hey, first off, let's give Al and let's give Revo a round of applause for the masterful haul video that was dropped by Remo and that intro, the epic and world class
intro, so amazing
by Al Rainey, boy. Because I thought I was watching it. I thought I was watching a new edition of Star Wars when it was coming up.
I made it a hot line. He made it a hot song. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
So Sean is in the building, and we have Chris from Outcast United in the building, fellas. It's a loaded show tonight. Loaded topic. They was talking in them YouTube streets. They was talking in that IG streets. I heard. They was even talking in these making streets about that topic tonight. They said, "Have y'all lost y'all mind?" I said, "Hey man, it's gonna be some toes stepped on tonight. Just got to deal with it." All right, but it is not time for our favorite segment here on the show. Y'all already know what time it is. Let me get my eBays in order. And I wanted to make sure we hit this thing right. And let's get ready to roll because it must be.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
But my prices are reasonable. What?
Oh, there they go. There.
All right, let's get down to business. Right out of the gate, we have completed utter madness. So I'll tell you, I took the screenshot off earlier. I should have saved it. So because I was trying to get my list in order, I actually favorited it. I watched this so I can make sure I can go back and get it. And so the dude hit me back and was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna give you an offer." He said instead of 8,000, it was 6,500. I just said no. I declined offer. No. But like, who is buying this book for $8,000, man?
The ash can
for $8,000.
No,
I can't. I mean, $800 is not even.
Bro,
I don't know.
I'm talking $150 though. Who the hell is looking for undiscovered country?
Yeah,
right. Like
they lost me early in the game.
I mean, this can't. Yeah, this like it's a 2-year-old book. I thought it was a 2-year-old book, 2 or 3-year-old book. I thought this book's not even old.
Came out around like Powers of X or House of X and Powers of 10.
Yeah, Powers of 10 around that time. Yeah,
Came around that time.
right.
probably after.
Man, ain't nobody looking for that. Ain't nobody checking for that.
Nope.
I mean, I don't have the ash can, but I have the first issue, but it looks the same. But I remember the ash can was high, but not $8,000 high. Like you said, maybe $100, $150.
yeah, maybe $150. I mean, $9.99. I mean, you don't demand that kind of premium.
No, not even.
And a 99, I don't care. Still.
All right, here we go. I mean, we got a pair of jeans in there too.
Huge comic book clip. That's one,
True.
two,
Some True Religion.
5, 6,
Bro, what
7,
the fuck is
8,
up?
8 boxes.
He could have did a better picture than that. Come
Like
on,
that.
man. Come on, man. How tacky can you be with that shit? Like, I see
15
that.
grand.
The price alone is like, fuck that. But the picture, I'm like,
Right. Like you didn't even attempt to take a good picture. You were just like, oh yeah, I need to post this up to try to sell this stuff, and just click.
oh man.
I mean,
He's
So is that-
stuck with that?
hey, no pictures of none of the. Hey, no pictures of none of the books.
Oh, wait, there we
wow.
go. That a what if?
That's a what if book. That's about a $6 book.
Yeah, that book is beat.
That's
And
a
none of
$3
them bagged
book.
the book.
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
No.
Wow.
No.
Nah, bro.
Y'all know he
that-
done pull all the stuff out of there. Y'all know that dude done pull all the stuff.
$15,000.
Right, you ain't getting nothing but filler.
That's 90s books right there all day.
Yeah, but they're not even
Right.
bagged. That's like a whole bunch of dollar bins.
Yep.
Right. He bought some store's dollar bins, and now he's trying to recoup his money. As he done pulled all the keys out of it, probably. I bet you if you go to his seller's page, you'll see all the books for sale that he pulled, the keys that he pulled out of there.
Yeah.
He'd be better off just selling the what if books on their own.
Hey, Remo, you
trying
can go
to-
out there. He out there in San Diego. You can go out there and you'll get it from him.
That's that. You can buy that and try and flip it at a flea market or something. You know?
Right.
Selling dollar books, man. Here, I don't care what it is. Come get them for $1.
Yeah, he can make that 15 grand easy.
Yeah, hey man, click on that. I know.
You saw that? You saw that?
Yeah. What?
What is a case?
Oh, a case. How many in a case?
1,000 Max Pro.
That ain't
That ain't too bad.
Ain't bad. That looks actually
I
kind of
mean,
For
like $10. Yeah, I mean $10. You normally gonna pay $10 per on
Bundle.
average.
No. Hold on. That's
100.
not here. You gonna pay 43.
yeah,
Down
Well,
here.
you talking about an anomaly, man. We ain't talking about that, dude.
Them rare occurrences. Ain't nobody
You
paying
know.
that, man.
like
You get it from Amazon for $10.
Right.
True.
I think it depends on the shop who they go through.
It
or
ain't
how-
got that. It ain't got that bad.
Yeah,
Let's just say that it ain't.
Right.
Yeah.
you might just have to pay the premium and get Mylars.
Right. Like, we ain't hurting it. What the?
I'm about to say, I thought it was.
I like they selling a personal eBay. Like, what is going on?
That's what I was thinking this is Richard Pryor's a toy or something.
Human trafficking.
Right. Y'all selling a Chris Evans stand-in. You selling the stunt double? That was
Front display. Marvel comic style. 1-of-1.
One of
what
one.
am I? So
So
what
what
am
is
I-
he about 6'3"?
He's 1-of-1, but 10 available.
Yeah.
like, what am I getting? Like, I am so confused about it. Like, what
Y'all-
am I getting? The shield or
Getting this statue.
like what am I getting?
So
Like, what
are you getting like the outfit so you can get like a mannequin and dress them up?
right? Like, what are you selling me? I am confused.
Oh man, I mean it just.
What does the description say?
It better be good.
It says. She didn't say anything.
Down on my luck, need a new home. We'll
That's
fight Nazis for food.
I mean, I don't even see it.
There ain't no description.
Ain't
There's
no
nothing. It's
description. Yeah,
It's
this.
about the company. It ain't about the item they selling.
Oh,
It's
my
just,
word.
it's
I mean,
just
like, it doesn't have the description of what it is. That's some fraudery.
right. Like, I don't even know what I'm getting here. You just selling me a Captain America statue.
Shipping is free though.
I mean,
I hope so.
don't cost nothing.
Hey, economy.
$16,000. I hope it is.
Don't cost nothing to send you nothing.
And
I mean, I'm sorry. The costume looked like somebody made it in home ec.
Yeah, it looked like an old Fila suit.
oh shit, one sold. Oh shit, somebody bought one. Go like that.
They a lie.
That's somebody's cousin. Somebody's cousin that went on that
They a
ball.
lie. They a lie.
Life-size Iron Man statue, Tony Stark prop, Robert Downey Jr. display Marvel stuff. Like, that,
They a lie.
where you?
I mean, and maybe that one. I mean, I could more see that one than the one we just looked at.
So which one am I getting? That's two different pictures. Those are two different Iron Man suits. So, like, which one are you selling?
What's the third picture?
Right. Like, what? That's not even.
Is that
Man,
like a statue?
right. Like,
I mean, I mean,
Does
I
it
mean-
even have an option to choose which one of those three?
right. Is it a gamble? Is it a roulette wheel? I'm just paying you 16 grand and then just
That's
we'll
the
see
wheel
which
on
one I
Grand,
get.
the wheel on Grand Theft Auto when you go in there on online mode. You got to walk in there, spin the wheel to get whatever you want. Yeah,
I'm
that's-
just
plot
hoping.
that.
I'm just hoping I get the red and gold, the good looking red and gold, not that one,
not the paint switch.
not the paint switch.
Like, you spilled all this paint on me.
Man, get the fuck what?
It's a gem mint.
You know,
highest graded.
God.
I'm the non-DC guy. I mean, is this a super key?
What Marvel book was that just came out like 3 years ago, y'all? What was that? Marvel Comics? Was it Marvel Comics 1000? What was the one that came out?
Yeah.
They got the same thing. The copy of DC when DC was doing it.
This
is when they started everything over.
The legacy numbers. Yeah.
That's this is a variant. Yeah.
But is it worth 20? I mean, is it worth?
No,
it's not.
No, the one you want is the Del Auto one.
Yeah.
I mean, is like a one. I mean, is there one that's like $1,000? Like, has it ever been $1,000?
Not man. Not for a DC Comics 1000. That I can remember.
Yeah, I mean, because literally the DC the Action Comics 1000 got like 15 different covers.
Yeah.
And then they did a couple
I'm just trying to figure out why this one is because
it's a 10.0 and it's an exclusive cover for Third Eye, so it was an exclusive cover. And it's a 10.0, and so they figure, let me slap some zeros on the end of this.
It's a no for me, dog.
Oh, it's a super no for me. I mean, that's just.
At least with these listings tonight, we got free shipping. Everybody giving out free shipping tonight.
I better get free shipping. You $20,000 for man.
I'm actually flying out there to get it.
I mean, honestly, man, that 10 is pretty much what they hinging that 20 G's on, because, like Matt said, the book out of all these Action Comics 1000 was the Del Auto Christopher Reeves variant, which most of us got. Just before y'all joined this, but one TC put us on to this one, man.
Yeah, he sent us. Yeah, he sent the sent it.
Yeah, show that one right quick. That Del Auto, that's the one.
That's the one you really want. Yeah, they mind for it. $20,000.
It's a Del Auto version variant.
There it is.
Yeah, you're right there. The second one.
I'm still mad I missed it.
And that one's not like $500.
That's the one you want.
But that's the most expensive one out of the variants that they released, aside from that.
That further makes my point of last week.
Right.
It is undervalued. Them covers is off the chain, and they're like $60, $70, $50, $2,500, but it's signed.
Right.
Yeah, this is what one of them slip on covers, man.
Jim Lee, Del Auto, and Snyder.
Yep.
Oh, he looked just like Christopher Reeve.
That cover was so dope, man. Everybody sold out of that cover as soon as it dropped. Diehard collectors knew what was up with that cover the minute they saw it.
Being worth more than this one.
Hey man. Hey, y'all know I ain't even a Superman fan, and I bought that cover. So what that tell you?
That tell you all you need to know right there.
I think what you said is that they're hinging it on the 10-0. It's an exclusive, like Chris said, and they're just hoping somebody will bite. Because if it's not a key or anything like that, I can't see why it's $10,000.
Exactly, Antonio. Exactly. If I'm paying that kind of money, I'm gonna just buy.
Yep.
The big boy.
Yeah, if I got $20,000 to spend on a Superman comic book, I'm gonna just hold on to it and save it up so I can get that Action Comics #1.
Yeah.
Man, come get the hell on.
The Holy Grail. You see that? The Holy Grail.
Holy Grail Robotech comic.
As a Robotech fan,
that's not even the first appearance of Robotech.
I'm a true Robotech fan, and I say hell no.
Right.
To the Holy Grail? You saying hell no to the Holy Grail?
Mm-hmm.
Man, whatever.
For $49,000? Yeah.
Does it transform?
The Holy Grail.
Does it transform into the SDF one? Like,
I mean, I have the first appearance of Robotech, and I was just trying to figure out why it's the Holy Grail.
I mean,
I was hoping one of y'all might have knew. That's why I picked. I was like, maybe I'm missing something.
We can't figure out these idiotic eBay guys, man. With their outrageous
What's in the
titles.
description?
what does it say?
Robotech to the Sentinels book 5, but 6. Number 13, the Holy Grail. Robotech comic book Academy, the toughest.
One of the toughest Robotech comics.
Oh, bullshit.
Oh, so that's why it's a Holy Grail, just because it was hard to find for him. It was hard to find for him.
Yeah, he's true.
No, here's the Holy Grail right there. That's the Holy Grail.
Exactly.
That's
the one that Indiana Jones drank out of and it healed his stomach. Remember?
That's the one Monty Python was looking for.
Yeah,
right.
that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, that's the Monty Python. Holy.
Yeah, no, that Sentinels is a Sentinels is a good story, but it's like you said, it's issue number 13. I think it's the I forget. I think it's the death of I forget.
So being that you just had
The black girl.
It ain't worth it, Remo. You can try.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying it's not worth 50 grand.
You know? Right? Like nothing about that makes it worth 50 grand.
Yeah,
like,
none of it. He's basing that off how hard it was for him to find that book in that grade. Right. That's a personal
Holy Grail.
Yeah. You know.
All right.
A Hulk 181 9.8 or a 10.0 is a Holy Grail. To some.
First Venom appearance, first McFarlane Spider-Man.
How you do it, Sean? How you do it, bro?
$6.
It's just another person trying to find another book that's not 300 or 299. Right. That's a first appearance, and they want to say first appearance of McFarlane doing Spider-Man and shit like that. I'm like, stop it, man. We already got enough books where people claim like this is cameo Venom. This is like Venom where he pushed Spider-Man with the hand and stuff. I'm like, stop.
So they're saying it's the first time he did that position or whatever for Spider-Man.
Right. They're trying to say that's the first McFarlane Spider-Man.
Oh, but it's got Rocketeer in it.
It's a comic magazine like Wizard, apparently.
Yeah.
And they trying to push it off as the first appearance of Spider-Man and Venom, I guess.
Let me tell you something, man. I collect magazines, and you cannot, as Sean just said, you cannot override the fact that Venom 298, 299, 300. Pick one of them.
Right.
And if you ain't got them, tough on you. Stop trying to go around here trying to make every book that had a Venom or Spider-Man in that era, make that be the book, because you didn't go out and get it. Instead, you spend all your money on Death Head #1.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Book is not worth $1,900.
Ridiculous.
Redonkulous.
And at a 9.6.
No, not doing it. Not doing it. Wild prices as usual. Wild prices.
Craziness.
All right. Let's go ahead and get this lined up here. Bear with me. All right. It is now time for it is now time for our Covrprice top 10.
Oh man.
As expected, yeah, Black Panther. Y'all, come on, y'all knew. Y'all.
Right.
What you say, Al?
I know why number 9 up there too.
Oh yeah, because of the trailer.
No, because of that game.
Well, yeah, the game trailer. You know, the game trailer dropped this week.
Yeah, that Midnight Sun.
Yeah.
That book been in dollar bins for 20 plus years, man.
Across the entire United States. You can
still find them polybagged.
Yep.
Right.
This is one of those dollar bin classics here. This is one of the world famous dollar bin.
Ridiculous. Once again.
These two books are in dollar bins, in what they call clearance bin.
Clearance section.
Yep. Matter of fact, got them today. I got them yesterday. As a matter of fact, top weekly graded sale, $200.
Man, you talk about the amount of hate that One More Day got. The fact that Spider-Man trailer actually got people showing off these books. I'm like, I'm not going to show them off because of that trailer. I hate One More Day.
Yeah, that was one of the worst storylines known to man.
Yeah, here we are.
I mean, look at that.
I mean,
all the way down the line.
That's the recent Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, that's the one that came out in March.
For me out, man. I was like, shit.
Yeah, that came out in March. I bought that when it came out in March.
Yeah, I think I got a couple of them. If I'm not mistaken. I know I got because I remember I was mad I didn't get the variant.
Why is it on the list?
I have no clue, man.
They're supposed to be doing
no clue.
A show.
That book was terrible.
Yeah, they announced they're supposed to be doing a show.
A Werewolf by Night show?
Yeah, somebody in the chat help me out. I want to say I heard about this last week.
Like
a cartoon or something like that.
Or like a Halloween special.
Yeah, Halloween special. And so they are supposed to be pushing this, and I'm just
on Disney Plus though.
Yeah, and they're thinking that this is the one that I guess the one they would use. Well, I would say the old one would be the one to go get. That's just me. Like I said, I picked it up just because it's Werewolf by Night #1 when it came out. I got the one with the wolf cover with the when it turns with the wolf. It's pretty cool, but it's not. I wouldn't be breaking my back to go buy this if I
There's a lot about in there.
Speak on it, bro. Hey, man, this is therapy. Go ahead, man. Speak on it.
Man, I'm just tired of this. I mean, Ghost Ride on him because of a video game. Werewolf by Night on him because of the rumor of a show they don't even know exists.
Right.
Man, that's speculation, man. I'm gonna turn into a comic book hermit. I'm just gonna collect just for the hell of it and be like, fuck everything else, man. Because this is crazy, man.
Number three.
Well, Spider-Man dominating this list, man.
Hey, man,
they pay on top of it.
Thanks.
If they want to go out and pay $200, $300, $400, $500 for it, I'll go keep paying $400 and $5. I just and I would trade them off and move them to other books. Move on to other books. What clown is going down, getting on eBay, paying these kind of prices? Look at this, $500.
It's ridiculous.
$500. $5. Do you understand?
I mean,
show y'all. You see that? You pay $500. I pay $5.
Mm-hmm.
No, stop paying these insane prices.
I don't know how many more times we can tell people.
And then we have Pink's signature Oblivion song, which they were giving away when this book came out because it was so damn many copies of this book. I mean, literally.
When I came back into it, these were all over dollar.
Yeah, they were giving these away, man. Hey, man, you want some candy? Yeah, get you an Oblivion song too while you're going out the door.
Right.
And there's a stack of them on the counter when you paid. Like, take one.
Yeah.
Two. Take phone.
They over ordered them because it's Kirkman and they value his name due to the success of The Walking Dead. So they say with the success of Walking Dead, and then when Outcast first came out, people had a lot of copies of that because that had a show coming. So they thinking at the time.
Which one? Talk to me. Tell me which one.
The one next to the Spider-Man and the Master of Kung Fu. The 1 in 10 or whatever. Yeah. Click on that one.
Oh, did not Terror?
Yeah.
There's another one.
I mean, Al, you got this thing. Did you get this when it came out? Because I thought I got it. I'm almost positive I bought this when it came out.
$77 raw. Or graded, I should say.
Graded. $15 raw.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you can go still find this in your back bin that you're.
Yeah.
I found a stack of them yesterday.
See?
And I had already bought them when they first came out, but even then, still, like all of them. All of them. Wow. Okay. But this is just stuff that's selling this week, right now, right?
Well, this is just this is the movers for this week.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. But see, that's the A cover right there. Because the one we looked at was the 1 in 10, I think.
You know, Rocketeer's about to shoot up because Disney announced the show.
Yeah, I know. And that was actually on the list. That was actually on a list of books that I actually had to collect. It's just I've never seen it out and about. And it's not. He doesn't appear in the Rocketeer book. It's another book he appears in.
Yeah.
It's like an obscure book.
If you can't find that one, then or it's that Star or something.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking. Star Slayer, and it's usually in dollar bins, but that one's never in there.
What's up, Sam's Tangled Web? Got Barbarian Kung Fu here. Davis Comics, what's going on?
What about that Spider-Man? I grabbed that one. What's that one going?
Which one?
Right there next to the Moon Knight. Right there. Yeah.
This book just came out last week.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a 1 in 25, man. Okay, that's 1 in 25, man.
It's a 1 in 25, but it's a what do you call it?
MCU?
No, but it's like a new series or whatever.
You know, it's a new event, man.
Yeah.
Void like the plague.
Oh yeah.
Right. Void it like the plague. It is not worth all this.
To be honest, I just can't wait till freaking Spider-Man. And
I know, right?
I did not like what they did with the Green Goblin in that last issue. I was like, nah, fuck that shit, man.
They should. No, not happening.
Mm-hmm. 1300 raw, baby. Raw.
Ooh, baby, I like it raw. It's time before we get the
I'm like Daryl, simply incredible, man. Let's get away from these lists, man.
This is ridiculous.
Oh, complete and utter madness. Well, there will be some joy tonight. I do have another one here. We have our other segment here before we move on, and there will be. There's one in particular here I think y'all will enjoy.
Here, Pierre, weigh this up. Yes, sir. And keep your thumb off of them scales, or I'll blow it off. She's pretty small. $10. $10? Why, it's getting so a man can't earn a dishonest living no more.
There's gold in them dar hills.
Well, back with another one, eh?
That Shinebone Comics poster getting bigger and bigger, man.
Man.
Oh, man. All right, so Fool's Gold this time last year. The hot top 10 over at CBSI were books that were spiking, going out of control. We have a list. We have It Eats What It Feeds, second print. It's going for $15 to $25. We have a Tomahawk. This y'all remember this? A Tomahawk. This was hot shit this time last year. It was hot. I remember this.
I bought that Covrprice up at Origin Store when it first came out.
There it is.
The store, our local store pulled it. This was not on the shelf, and this was not there. I did not see this. All right, Batwing 19, which is probably still going for a hefty price, but of course we already know, isn't there? We already know this is silly money. Of course, this is silly money. That
one is silly money. That
right here. Yeah, they only got one per store.
Yeah.
And Larry looked up and bought one for $1.
Yeah, you can find those. I think there's one in my shop. He got one, but I ain't paying what he want for
it. Yeah. Larry paid $1 for it. And of course, all these black. This was around the time. The reason why all these Black Panthers on here. This is around the time Chadwick passed away. So,
yeah, right.
So, But there was
that
one,
Riri. Go back up. That Riri is like $200 right there.
yeah. So
Raw. Like
Right.
it's like $200 raw.
all right. So if you bought this book here, you paying two 300 for that? I mean,
No, man.
And that's still too much from.
I'll just read my mind, Al.
I mean,
Yeah, there's a
I
lot of
paid
copies available.
$5-6 for that book, whatever the cover price is. I mean, and it's an okay read. It ain't nothing to brag,
Right.
Hey man, I read Tomahawk the other night, man. That shit was good.
This book is what? This book is what, man?
I think they
Man,
tend
that was
to
hot, man.
they tend to hype up new Donny Cates books. Or
Yeah,
whatever,
they send them to the moon, man.
Yeah.
They typically send
And
those
back.
to the moon.
And see, the only reason why I bought that is because I read that his book Redneck, and it came out like, I mean, Redneck had been out, but I mean, it was Donny Cates, and what the heck, I like Redneck. I'm gonna pick this one up. So,
Nah.
No.
All right. It is time for. If I can find my. Here we go. All right, so we'll get to our topics of the night. If I can get them up here. So I'll put up here. Al will like this here. If I can find it. Shazam! Fury of the Gods have wrapped production. Al, are you excited?
of course, I'm excited, man. You can't see it on my face.
I mean, Chris is over there. He's itching.
Man, come on, man. Y'all know. I mean, that's the only one true Captain Marvel. I don't care what Marvel says.
Exactly.
What Carol Danvers got in front of her name, because she is just Carol Danvers to me. But yeah, man. I mean, I'm hoping that it's a good movie, man. I like the first one. I thought it was a decent, fairly decent movie. It had its problems, but it had more positives than it did cons, in my opinion. Fury of the Gods is supposed to actually build upon the Shazam mythos, and on top of that, rumor has it that it's the end of it is supposed to lead either into a confrontation between Shazam and Black Adam, or another rumor floating around is that Superman, if Henry Cavill could get right, is supposed to actually join up a team up with Shazam against Black Adam. Which, if they do that, hopefully they'll follow the that's the Shazam,
Superman Shazam
Black
animated
Adam
movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
So because that was that was short as hell. It was good though. But yeah, man, I'm excited. And I always, Megan Good, in that purple, you can't go wrong with that. So, it's all great. But I'm looking forward to it though.
Chris?
I'm right there with Al. Like I between both companies, I love it when they do the non-standard movies for here, giving a spotlight to heroes that you normally don't see. That maybe this, I'm hoping this movie will do good enough that they'll give Shazam his own book again.
Sean?
I'm excited for it. I'm with Al. The first movie had its flaws, but it still was an enjoyable movie. I do think that if the second one is more tighter and more focused and not too overly long with dead spots, I think it's going to be a solid movie. And I'm just, I'm looking forward to it and seeing how they improve upon the first movie, and how the character evolves. The Marvel family. I'm more interested in seeing them, as characters with Shazam and be in the group. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm actually hoping Mark Strong in some capacity comes back, because in my opinion, he was one of the stronger points of the first movie as Dr. Savannah. But yeah, overall, man, even if they don't bring him back, I'm looking forward to seeing it, man.
Yeah, Remo, you don't give a damn because you don't. Yeah, I know.
He cares neither way.
See,
Right,
he's muted for a reason.
Well, he can stay.
I'm gonna go back and check it out though. I do want to watch Shazam because I'm kind of getting interested in the whole Black Adam thing. So I want to.
Black Adam is a great character, man.
The first one, the first Shazam movie, man. I would say it's a fun movie, and I'm not saying that because I'm a fan of the character. I mean, like I said, it has its issues. Pacing is one. Some of the CGI looks kind of but overall, I mean, they told a story. It was a decent story. They actually did a good thing by following Jeff Johns' origin. They followed his origin pretty much to a T as far as his revamping of Shazam. So that, in my opinion, helped out that movie because they didn't really too much deviate per se from the Jeff Johns New 52 origin of Shazam. So, I mean, yeah. Hopefully, it'll be a good movie, man. I'm hoping. So.
All right,
that's all we can hope for.
Yep.
I want to see Dr. Fate though, the new Dr. Fate.
Yes, I want to see.
Yeah, and Black Adam.
Man.
Oh, that Black Adam, man! I think that Black Adam movie gonna be fire. Mark my words. Because The Rock, I know we deviating, but because The Rock is behind that, he's everyone's favorite media darling. You're gonna start seeing Black Adam fans coming out the assholes of turtles and shit. So I mean, you're gonna watch what I say.
I'm already prepped for that.
You might well get rid of the car.
It's the same thing like with Aquaman. It was the same shit. It's like you don't even like Aquaman. Nobody likes Aquaman.
Exactly.
But the difference was I didn't like Aquaman, but I just enjoyed the movie for what it was. I like Black Adam and I like The Rock, so I'm gonna win-win. See the movie. Yeah, it's a win-win for me. Even though The Rock tends to be like kind of one-dimensional as an actor, most movies he's the same. But he's
gonna be Scorpion King. That's why I see he's gonna be Scorpion King.
but
he's always gonna be the Scorpion King.
I think the difference between the Black Adam movie and any of his other movies, The Rock has been wanting to do the Black Adam for a long time, and it finally came. I honestly don't think he's gonna botch it up. But the thing that I'm looking forward to with that Black Adam movie is the fact they're gonna have the JSA in there. Yeah. You got Dr. Fate, you got Atom Smasher. You're gonna have a lot of people, a lot of characters that some people are not going to be acclimated to. Hawkman, Aldous Hodge, my boy from Leverage, he's going to be Hawkman. So I mean, that movie, I'm telling you, watch what I say. It's going to be some Black Adam fans. Just, I've been a fan of Black Adam. It's going
to be a Black Panther for DC,
basically.
And then the books are going to start going through the roof.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I had started reading the Dr. Fate, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I feel it.
If you want, Remo, if you want anything Black Adam, your ass better get it now, because I'm here to tell you.
I got one, but I need to get some. I don't got none of the original stuff. I got some. I got a couple of the new kids.
Well, I'll say this:
it's gonna go crazy.
I really enjoyed Jeff Johns' JSA run. Like that was one of my favorite reads in terms of omnibuses that he put out. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of those JSA characters.
Yeah.
Right. And Pierce Brosnan is Dr. Fate.
Dr. Fate.
That alone is top notch, man.
I was hoping it was going to be the younger Dr. Fate, though, like the new Dr. Fate. Right?
Well, all you got to do is put some, shave his beard and put some Grecian Formula 16 in there. He'll be all right. He'll be all right.
I think with him being with such a big name actor, like I'm wondering how they're gonna do, because you know how it is with most movies. When they wear something that covers their face, they end up acting most of the movie. But literally, Dr. Fate has to keep the helmet on.
That's why it can't be. That's why it can't be Pierce Brosnan. He's too big of an actor.
But he is. He's gonna be Dr. Fate in Black Adam.
I think he might be passing it down, passing the mantle.
All right. HBO Max's Aquaman and Gremlins animated show is coming to Cartoon Network. Now, I don't know how I feel about a Gremlins animated show.
Right, like
What are they gonna do? Fight Stripe all the time?
I mean, blast you, Gizmo! I'll get you next time.
right, like is Dr. Claw gonna be like what is?
I'll get you next time. Get you next time.
Yeah, Aquaman. Right. I mean, we've seen Aquaman cartoons. I mean,
I'm all in on the new Black Manta though. I'm
is Jason Momoa gonna be the voice of Aquaman? Like,
pass.
I don't know.
I'm not interested in this. I'd rather just watch the first two Gremlin movies and that's it.
Right. Like,
I guess it's different for us because like we lived through the first go round. Like it's not new to us. Like you know what I mean? Like
right.
Yeah, man. But it's not gonna be new to these kids. I mean, but that's
what I'm saying. You keep trying to reinvent the wheel. These kids don't care about no damn Gremlins. You're pandering to us,
especially when they ain't been relevant in so long.
Come on, man. That's like bringing ET back and introducing that as an alien. These kids, hey, I show.
Hey, don't get these fools no idea, everybody.
Look, check it out, man. I showed my daughter and it was crazy, man, because I showed my daughter. I want to say it was Big Trouble in Little China, man, and she just made me feel like this big. She's like, you think this looks good? Like, you know what I mean? Like that?
Oh, man.
That's great. She's like, it ain't even good CGI. Like, I'm just like,
man, that's right there. You should have punished her for saying that.
Oh my God. I'm like, really? Kids are on to the next, man.
You grounded for a week for disrespecting my childhood.
You know? I told her, I said, man, it didn't. You know, and I think I was talking to Hailey. We were like, yeah, man, that movie didn't age well. But I think, yeah, oh man, I love it too. I watch it whenever it's on. I got it. That's why I said I got it. I'll fire it up in a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you know, I don't know, man. Aquaman's never been that strong of a character for me to follow around. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
As far as like investing anything like heavy into him, you know what I'm saying? Like, I liked him on the cartoons, but it was like, dude always had to be in the water. So it's like, you know, unless he was fighting Black Manta, I wasn't interested. Like, that's it. Like, you know,
right.
It's not making me get HBO Max, and definitely not the Gremlins.
All right. This is one that I saved from last week. I brought it over to this week. The Matrix 4 trailer is floating around. I don't know if y'all heard that rumor last week.
Glitch in the Matrix is not real.
Do we really need to care about the Matrix?
It's a glitch in the Matrix. It's not a real trailer.
I'm gonna tell you, after that third one, I didn't give a damn. What was the third one or the second one? Was it both of them? I think it might have been both of them.
That third one was just...
The second one was enough. They should have quit.
Yeah, the third one, the only thing I remember was that damn Dragon Ball Z like battle at the end. But other than that, I was like, there's nothing from the third one that was redeemable.
Yeah, the second one, the only thing good about the second one was the twin.
Yeah, and that highway chase scene.
Yeah, that was
fantastic. Like they could have ended the movie
That's
right there.
They should stop right there. You good?
Yep.
In the movie, you know what I'm saying?
I remember walking out that theater that night, Al. We was at there. MC was there. MC watching here. Remember this? And I turned around, man. I remember I looked at MC and I said, "What the fuck did I just watch?"
Yeah, what was it? Which one had Jada Pinkett in it?
2 and 3.
2 and 3.
2 and 3, right?
It was supposed to be Aaliyah, but she sadly.
Yeah, that's right. So 2 was it because I remember watching it and I was like, okay, I can't go any further with her. And then they brought her back for the third one. I was just like, I'm done.
Well, you know, the reason for that is because the first movie was actually written by a black woman. They didn't write it. The Wachowski sisters now. They didn't write the first movie.
Yeah.
They wrote 2 and 3. And 2 and 3 was written by them, and so it kind of just
On a whole other shit.
Right, that's why it's got a whole nother feel. Like she eventually won a lawsuit. Because she proved that she actually wrote that, and like Terminator. I've got her book that follows, and basically what she did was she in the book 2 and 3 are basically dreams that Neo has, and so the book picks up still from the end of the first movie.
So this is what 4 would be then.
It's what we're hoping for. Yeah, is what the whole is what the ideal is, that they'll do it off of her book.
Now, is she involved, or is it just the sisters writing?
I don't know. I know. I mean, they titled it Resurrection. They titled it Resurrection. If they were smart, they would have her involved because, her book that picks up after, basically fixes by making 2 and 3 a dream. It fixed the fact that 2 and 3 weren't great movies, and you can just let them go.
I remember seeing the first one. I remember seeing the first one and being blown away.
Yeah.
I remember me and my boy went and seen it, and I think we were shrooming or something, and we were just like, "What the fuck did we do?"
Oh shit!
And we went back. We were like, "We gotta go watch this again."
Hey, bro,
I went watching it again, and I was like blown. And then I went and I called my mom, and I'm like, "Mom," I said, "I gotta take you to the movies," and I took my mom to see it. So I seen it like 3 times, like in the week that it came out, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm sold."
Hey, hold that hand before you say it. I was like,
No. Hold up. The Comic Hall crew does not condone the use of illicit drugs. I just want to put that disclaimer.
That was in what, 99, 98?
And I don't care if it was 2038.
That was actually limitation.
I'm just messing with you. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
It's like him watching that is like walking into what was that movie that just came out? The one with what's his name, son? Denzel Washington's son.
Oh yeah.
Tenet, man. You watch that shit. How as a kid, you really gonna be fucked up watching.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was. I didn't know what. I mean, I had heard of it and I seen the stuff, but I didn't know what it was until I went to see it. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Man, that was a good movie, man. But it was just like watching Tenet, man. You gotta watch Tenet like 4 times.
That's what I heard to make it make sense. You gotta watch it a few times.
I want to bring this up.
Go ahead, brother.
With what we know about this Matrix movie and that they're doing this to ignore 2 and 3. This is like becoming a common thing we're seeing in Hollywood, where they doing these like new sequels to franchises and ignoring all the sequels in between.
We saw it go.
They're giving them mulligans.
The recent Candyman. This pretty much take place years after the first movie, so it ignores 2 and 3 completely. We saw that with Halloween. Ignores the sequels, picks up years after the first movie. So it seemed like they found a new way to say, "Oh, we're gonna do a new version of Halloween, but it's gonna be a sequel to the first movie, as opposed to just a reboot or continuation from like the last part of that franchise." They want to do this now, and I find that problematic. Even if the sequels were trash, I feel like they just trying to find a way to just say, "We want to do a new movie, so let's just say we'll continue from the first movie, ignore all the sequels." Like it's like we supposed to be blind to the fact that they don't have like 10 fucking Halloween movies, and now you're saying, "Oh, this take place after the first Halloween," or "This take place after the first Candyman." I'm like, "Nah, man, come on! I ain't gonna ignore all those other sequels."
Hollywood,
even if they were mediocre.
Hollywood is on that. They on that mulligan. They on that mulligan tip. They got people food. They got this new generation who's never watched those movies in between. So they dropped this one movie and it's like, hey, all you got to do is go watch this one other movie. Screw all the other history that's involved with all this. Just go watch this one movie and you'll be okay. It's that makeup test syndrome. Like in school, it's like, oh man, I was out the day of the history test. Can I do it over? Like,
hey, somebody need to redo that Mortal Kombat movie that just came out then. Come out something to replace that. How about that? Go ahead, Al.
If I've said it once, I say it a billion times. Hollywood at this time is creatively bankrupt. They have nothing because that's what we're gonna see. We're gonna see reboots of stuff that we watched in the 70s and 80s from now until we die. I mean, it's just the late 70s to the 80s to the early 90s was probably like the best time for Hollywood because that's where a lot of original content came out. That's where a lot of innovative stuff came out, like the Ghostbusters, Gremlins, the Goonies, Star Wars. As of right now, all we're gonna see is the pimpization, if that's a word, and the horrification of all these properties that we grew up with. They just gonna keep milking them until you can't milk them no more, man. That's what it's
The
gonna.
medium,
That's what it's gonna be about.
the medium changed. Like you don't have to use you have to make the big budget stuff, but a lot of these creators are going to the internet and shooting their own stuff, and they're not writing movies for the big studios, so we don't get to see them in the big studio. We're watching them on the small screen, so it's like it suffers because like these people are feeling like they're getting more money to do it on their own, low budget, as opposed to getting the long money from the big studios. Like uh, kind of how I guess how Snyder and them felt when they didn't get to shoot the movie the way they wanted to, and they had to reshoot it and do all that stuff. Like instead of having to go through all that stuff, they shoot it on their own or they do it smaller. Then I think that's kind of what makes it suffer. I mean, I think there's other ways for them to get creative instead of giving it to the big studios, so it's suffering.
I think that Foster's going to be. I think that's a Sony property. I think Sony has the rights to Faust, if I'm not mistaken.
Bless you.
Yeah, bless you. Go ahead, Al.
No, I was gonna say, man. You would think that the studios would actually lean towards those that are out there doing, their own independent thing because you need to breathe like new life into cinema. Because I mean, as of right now, we have are remakes and superhero movies for the most part. That's pretty much what we're dealing with at this time. So I mean,
superhero stuff.
One of my personal favorites, Napoleon Dynamite. That movie came out of nowhere. Totally original movie. Classic movie in my opinion. And I argue anybody to this day. But I'm just saying, man, it just seems like there's a lot of I don't know, man, just a lot of recycled stuff. Just it's
They're odd ideas.
The next one, man.
They're odd ideas, man. That's bottom line. They're odd ideas. I mean, we're seeing it across the board, Al. We're seeing it in video games. We're seeing it in movies.
You notice, like Martin Scorsese kind of accepted his role and just only makes gangster movies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like not gangster, but you know what I'm saying? Like mafia type movies. You know what I mean? Like all his stuff. Like that's all he does. He figured it out. He was like, man, I ain't even gonna try and get any of this other stuff pitched because I know what my lane is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I could respect that. I mean, you think about it. After the superhero boom's over, what's next?
Yeah,
we're going back to Western.
Right. That's what I was about to say. Gonna go right back to Westerns. You're gonna be.
Told y'all.
I'm gonna be here for it.
Going back, Gene Autry coming back.
I'm gonna be here for it, boy. I'm telling you, I'll be here for it.
But it's not gonna be. It's not gonna be.
Some Django Unchained type shit. Yeah.
Let's be real. People aren't gonna. It's not gonna work if they go back to westerns because the world today, society today, is not gonna accept the way cowboys work. They just ain't going. Like cowboys were sexist, misogynist, angry motherfuckers. Like that's just how that was. Like, and that just the world today. Man, the first time
rapists and it was all good.
The first time a cowboy hop off his horse and snatch a woman by the hair and drag her into Miss Kitty's parlor, they gonna try to cancel cowboys as an entire thing. Like they ain't gonna be.
I'm surprised they haven't done that yet.
How dare he not ask for consent before he grabbed her by the hair and dragged her?
But she is a prostitute in a brothel. I guess
it doesn't matter. He should still ask her for her consent. It's not gonna go well, man. It's gonna.
They have the cowgirl. They have the only fans working.
Right. Exactly.
It's not gonna go good, man. It's gonna be bad. But you know what though? This is nothing new as far as Hollywood being. What was it? It was 20, 25 years ago, something like that. People said Hollywood was out of ideas, and Hollywood started
the decay.
Well, not just the decay, but that's when Hollywood jumped on the bandwagon of comic book properties. That's when comic book properties started really getting looked at by Hollywood because they didn't have any more original ideas. They was like, man, we can't do nothing. So they started making comic book movies, and it breathed life back into them for another 20 years. But they ain't got nothing now. Like
Cow people.
Yeah, there we go. Cow
Barbarian
people
is a trip.
Cow people, not cowboys. Cow people.
Hey, can I say one last thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, that comment that Barbarian just made, it reminds me of an old. Well, it ain't old because they still got them. But remember, the Ace Hardware store commercials and stuff, where you say Ace is the place for the helpful hardware man. They don't say that no more.
They say folks.
Ace is the place for the helpful hardware folks.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because people are getting offended.
It used to be man
because they said man, right? Like,
yeah.
Okay, so you get mad at a commercial because it says helpful hardware man, but let's go, man. I'm sorry.
Kevin Feige says the next Avengers saga is officially underway.
Minus Black Widow.
Yeah, she is not on payroll.
Minus Scarlett Johansson.
I mean, we all knew this was coming, man. We knew that, just based off of Falcon and Winter Soldier, and
right.
We knew this was coming already. And from my understanding, that Shang-Chi is a little bit of that in there as well, without going any further, because I don't want to get spoiled. But I mean, we all knew this was coming, man. And
right.
I guess the only thing I can say is just these Avenger books are going to start going through these obscure Volume 5, Volume 4, Volume 6, obscure Avengers book. You see, Sean is down there right now. He's looking on eBay right now to see the madness for next week, for our next session of You Must Be Out of Your Damn Mind, because I expect to see Avengers books going all over the place in the next couple of weeks.
Oh yeah.
But like what team lineup is this?
It's the one with Volume 6. Volume 6. I know it's the one that came out. The Hickman run.
So is that
Ain't that like Black Panther or that was New Avengers? I know Captain America and them was on the regular Avengers squad, and then New Avengers had Black Panther, Namor. It had a lot of Illuminati characters in there.
Well, with them doing Thor: Love and Thunder and Jane Foster being in and everything, they could easily do that run of Avengers with Falcon as Captain America, and then Jane Foster's Thor on the team. They could do that run because they did that. They had a brief romance in the comics between Falcon and Jane Foster's Thor. So I mean, they could easily just since they've already got her in the movie and he's already signed on to be in Captain America 4. It wouldn't be nothing for them to mosey into that set of Avengers.
Yeah. I'm sure those books are gonna spike.
I mean, we've talked like the last couple years about, there was possibly Young Avengers, them building up Young Avengers. And we're seeing a little bit of that, throughout these stories. You got Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, even though she's more champions, but she can also fit in with Young Avengers. You got Wanda's kids, Young Avengers members. You got Kate Bishop, that's going to be in the Hawkeye series. So, a lot of these characters are could be future Young Avengers and then Avengers themselves. And
so maybe like a made up hodgepodge team that they decide nothing necessarily directly tied to the comics or something they came up with.
And I'm not going to spoil it, but even Shang-Chi, did some things where the ending credit showed that it could be a possibility of Avengers. So they definitely building up towards something for this new Avengers team that they're going to do.
Al?
Are we gonna talk about that whole Scarlet Witch? Who she supposed to fight is Doctor Strange?
I mean, we can. Yeah. I mean,
I don't believe it's no mutants. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Man, right?
I mean, last week I had a slug made last week was stop trying to guess when the X-Men are gonna show up. They just let the shit happen because everybody wants these outlandish theories.
I mean,
but that's going to happen.
I mean, we know it's gonna happen, but it seems like people trying to rush it. Because if
Yep.
Kevin Feige is saying that the next Avengers saga is already underway, where would that put the X-Men? Where would that put mutants? Because I honestly don't think that he would have the Avengers, Fantastic Four, and the X-Men all at the same time, because Disney's all about milking that cow for what it's worth.
Man.
And that's the reason why we hadn't seen anything past the Avengers right now. I mean, earlier this year, wasn't it March or April, when they put that teaser out where they showed like Shang-Chi and Black Widow and the Eternals and something else, and then at the very end of the trailer they had the Fantastic Four logo. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I'm just curious as to why people want this to happen, because we know it's gonna happen, but why are y'all trying to rush something that's inevitable in the first place? I don't get that, man.
Cause Mephisto.
That Mephisto boy. I mean, that's the running joke, yeah, boy.
That's the thing right there.
Yeah, that's it. Remo, you got any thoughts on this, Remo?
I mean, I just want to know who they plan on us basically buying in with. If we're gonna keep doing Avengers and we're not gonna add any more characters to the MCU, we're just gonna keep, we're only gonna use what they introduce. Like, I mean, I'd rather see some mutants than another Avengers team. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see another Avengers team unless it's a young Avengers team and it's like on Disney Plus or something. I don't want to see that at the movies.
Well, Avengers is what led the MCU to be popular in the first place, so they're not going to abandon that.
But I mean, I'm just saying, like, it won't be my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can keep coming back, but I mean, unless they
remember, Avengers was never a household name until Brian.
No, that's what I mean.
Took it over, and then all of a sudden, then Marvel started focusing on the Avengers a lot more.
Because it was Iron Man. Iron Man came out first. Remember, it was just Iron Man, and then all of a sudden they came with the Avengers. And I was like, oh, okay, that's just like another movie to go see. And then they, like you said, they doubled down on it. But if they would have just made an Iron Man movie and then they came out with the Wolverine movie, like, you know what I'm saying? Then they came out with, like, you know what I mean? Like individual movies, like, and then they tied them together. I would have been cool with that.
Right.
The Avengers movies just sped up that process by having multiple characters that you could identify, and then if they were to spin them off into anything else, it would make it easy. But like, I didn't have to have the Avengers; it could have been anybody. You know what I mean? Like, it could have been any team.
Right, I see what you mean. Yeah, if they'd have built towards it and used anybody else of that. But it was one of them things, because originally I think a lot of people forget when this all started with Marvel, they were originally it was gonna be, the Inhumans is where they were moving towards, and then they scrapped the movie, made the show, and then the show was horrible, and then they banked on the Avengers, and then they were like, well, we don't need the mutants and we don't need the Inhumans, so then the comic books did the Inhumans versus the X-Men, to try to just brush them all out, and then it became all about the Avengers for everything.
Yeah.
But I'm with you though. I mean, another Avengers movie will be whatever, but I've as of late, I enjoy the properties that they're doing that are not the mainstream properties. Like, I loved the first Doc Strange. I liked Ant-Man. And neither one of those characters are big characters for me from Marvel.
Yeah, but you watch the trilogy and you're like, yes.
It was something different. That's what it was about. Like, it was like, I've seen the event. It's like, oh man, there's another Iron Man movie. There's another Thor movie. Sweet. There's actually a Doctor Strange with somebody who's not Thor or Captain America. You know what I'm saying? It was something. It was refreshing. And that's what I think Marvel is missing. They're trying to bank on that with Disney, but Disney's milking that cow with the Avengers. But, people, we've seen Avengers. Like, society nowadays has a short attention span. Putting out more Avengers movies isn't necessarily going to recapture what you got when you did it with the first set.
Exactly.
Well, we got the Eternals.
Yeah, but that's no different.
Man, nobody care about the Eternals.
That's no different than when Fox put out 6 X-Men movies. We wasn't tired of that. I mean, even if it's Fox and we had issues with them, they were still going to turn out as many X-Men movies as they can. So it's really no different than Marvel saying, we're going to try and milk this cow with Avengers because there's multiple characters they can add to that group.
That's what I'm saying. I don't mind as long as the characters are are interesting characters. I just want to know who it's going to be. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, just buying in just because it's them. Like, I don't want to.
They're gonna use that Avengers title and just rotate the characters and add new characters
NWO
to it.
style.
That's why, when you saw no more Iron Man and no more Cap, because those guys are long past gone now. So now it's a chance to reinvent the Avengers with new characters.
I'm all for that.
Yeah, but we see how bad those X-Men movies were. Just for the record, we saw how bad them X-Men movies were.
The issues we had with those Fox movies was like, man, they trying to hang on to it, but it's like, nah, just give it up, bro.
After the second X-Men movie, it all just went downhill.
All right.
Yeah, basically.
Next up, what if? For Doctor Strange, Chris bring up Doctor Strange, and we'll start with you, Chris. What was your thoughts on this week's?
I will honestly say this what if was my favorite what if, because it kind of broke the mold of what ifs on there always being the happy ending so far in the movies, kind of in the episode so far. And it was also good because it was self-contained. It wrapped itself up. There were no strings left for you to wonder about, like it is with a lot of what if stories. If you in the chat read what if comics, Al, like when you read a what if comic book, good and well, you probably gonna leave that comic book with more than just the one question of what if. You're gonna be like, well, what about the rest of the world? Like if Captain America didn't become Captain America, then and Tony Stark didn't become Iron Man, then how come Hawkeye leading the Avengers? That's why they suck now. Like you're gonna have them kind of questions. Like you're gonna just but this episode was so great in the fact that you're watching and you're just like, man, where is this going? And then we get the Ancient One back, and then the Ancient One's like, oh, hey, let me answer all your questions right quick. Turns out he ain't the only Doc Strange. There's two of them, and now they get to battle it out. Like that was really, really great to see happen, and for them to bring it all full circle and answer them questions like that, and just I really enjoyed this episode. Best one yet so far to me.
Well, I'm still partial to the third episode. I like that one, but I like this one. A lot of what, of what Chris just said, and then two, I really like the fact that the Watcher had a more visible role in this particular episode, although he didn't interfere because that's his job not to interfere. But as far as it goes, I like how when Doctor Strange felt his presence, is like somebody's here, and then the Watcher ultimately revealed himself and said, yeah, I'm here, in my Dave Chappelle voice, Doctor Strange is fucking up, and but he couldn't really do anything because he's the Watcher. So I like that aspect of the cartoon. I really like the fact that Marvel, they're going, or Disney rather, they're pretty much putting it, the whole MCU, all of that is tied into the MCU. I really like that they're putting forth effort in that aspect because, getting Benedict Cumberbatch to come back, Tilda Swinton, the guy that played Wong, it adds right, pretty much. So I mean, it adds just an extra touch where you can actually, say, well, okay, yeah, this is congruent with the movies and stuff. It was a really good episode, man. I was tripping by how Doctor Strange was assimilating all them demons and stuff. I'm like, man, this Joker, he gonna come out looking like Venger from Dungeons and Dragons after a while. But yeah, it was overall it was a really good episode. I haven't been disappointed with any of the episodes yet, so hopefully that trend will continue from this point forward. So,
Shaw,
I really liked the ending and how it ended in a way that there was no such thing as a good ending. Like Chris said, there was a lot of what ifs that I read that had endings that really, like, damn, that was some fucked up shit that I just read, and that ending, like, he just wiped his whole universe out just to save or to attempt to save his girl. And I'm like, man, you went through all that, consuming all these demons, getting all powerful and stuff, just to change the history. And they will, the Ancient One was warning him that if you do that, it's going to be consequences. And
it's not going to go well.
We all know that when you do things in the past, it's not going to go well for your future. And that's exactly what he tried to do. He tried to save her life after many failed attempts to try it. And that ending just completely wiped out your whole universe. And now he's by himself in that little bubble, stuck with nobody around.
Hey, man, simping ain't easy, man.
Man, that he was a simp in that episode, man. Because I'm sitting here like,
ain't easy.
After the third or fourth time, man, when she started driving and she got killed, I'm like, dude, just get up, man.
Right,
bro,
it ain't happening, bro.
It was like, yo, we're not gonna go to this place. We just gonna sit back and relax, man. She died in the house in the fire.
Right, like she still died, no matter what you do.
No break.
Yeah, man. Remo, did you watch it, brother? You hadn't watched it?
I didn't even watch it, man.
It's good, man. I mean,
I ain't had a chance, man. I meant to watch it. I just didn't get a chance to watch it. I watched it.
They put in work to find new ways to kill her every time he attempted to save her. I give him that. Like, good Lord.
You ain't supposed to save her. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say you can go.
Don't save her.
We die.
She don't want to be saved.
Like it was really interesting to me because like I'm a Doctor Who fan, and in Doctor Who, because it deals with time travel and space and time, they use the reference that certain things are fixed moments in time, and you can't change them. So when I was watching the episode, and the Ancient One was just like basically told us like it's a fixed moment in time, ain't nothing you can do. Like I knew from that point on, the rest of this story is all downhill for Doc Strange. Like there ain't nothing. Like I don't care how much power you absorb, man. This is a fixed moment in time. Like your whole universe hinges on her dying. Like, so you need to just let it go. Like, I need you to just cough those charges into the game and just be all right. Like,
and the arrogance was just coming out of him very strong. Like you thought he was arrogant in the first movie. This one, he was completely arrogant and determined to do what he wanted to do. And I was like, that goes against everything you learned when you was learning your powers. It's like, that arrogance is going to be his downfall, and that's exactly what it was.
But it worked in this one because he didn't. There was nothing that humbled him. She died, but like he didn't lose the use of his hands. He sought out the mystic realm because he was trying to resurrect her. That was his intent from jump. So there was nothing that happened to humble him to make him the Doctor Strange from the movie. He still had that arrogance of being a know-it-all. You know what I'm saying? That shone through perfectly in this episode. Like,
All right. We hope y'all enjoying yourselves, but we want to take time out right now to make sure that you stick with us tonight. We have a very special announcement at the end of tonight's show. You will only know unless you try to cheat and come back and watch the show. But we want y'all to hear it live tonight here on the Comic Hall Group. Live, like my wrestling.
That's what I was thinking about. Live at the Macon Coliseum, Dusty Rhodes versus Harley Race for the NWA Championship bout.
In front of a capacity crowd. Get your tickets now.
Sunday.
Corn soda.
All right, it is time. If I can find my drop. I have to kind of get used to it. I'm still trying to get used to this new layout in the back.
Your dad has to order.
There we go. All right. We are back. And it is time for the main event of the evening. Al got up, and he'll be right back. Right
I gotta
there.
make. I'm gonna go. I'll be right back.
All right. Are Marvel books overvalued? Okay, Sean, go ahead right out the gate. Go ahead, Sean. Take it away.
We've talked about value in comic books a lot on this show. Even before I even joined this panel, you guys been talking about it for a long time, and Marvel books are just so overpriced and overvalued that it's it's hard as a collector to want to obtain some of them books. Now they can be obtained, but you gotta put in the effort and the work to get them. But when you look at some of those prices of the Marvel books going back from Silver Age, Bronze Age, and stuff, especially key issues, that is actually true. Their print quality today is complete
Garbage.
toilet paper garbage. But their older books are always going to be valued high because of the recent surge of the MCU and everything that comes out within these Disney Plus shows. People want to spec on these books, and first appearances you see, and people immediately go to eBay and put it on there. First appearance of this character, and put Disney Plus on there, or the title of the TV show, to skyrocket the price. And people value Marvel books a lot more than DC because of the name brand itself of Marvel. We love DC, but Marvel has always been that name brand, and it's due to Stan Lee's marketing, promoting, and talking up about Marvel comics and why they're so great. And people know how valuable Stan Lee was when it comes to how much stuff that he promoted, all the stuff that he created in Marvel TV from the 70s and 80s to the animated series in the 90s, X-Men, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, and all that stuff. So people kind of put Marvel on this pedestal of valued books that they need in their collection. And it ends up driving up the value of these books. And we've seen it over years where books continue to rise. Even books of characters that we're not specifically, don't really care for, like maybe Deadpool. New Mutants 98 is like it's an astronomical book, and it's like that book when it first came out, it was fine, but it's like each time Deadpool gets more popular, the book continues to skyrocket. Whereas you don't see that type of love when it comes to some DC characters. Outside their main, core characters of Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash, and Green Arrow, Green Lantern, a lot of their other characters don't tend to creep up in value. Like you'll never see something like Deadpool where a character gets created who's pretty much a carbon copy of Deathstroke. I mean, let's be honest, Slade Wilson and Wade Wilson, that was Liefeld's attempt to take elements of Deathstroke and create his own copy of Deadpool. And the fact that he surpassed Deathstroke in terms of value speaks to how well Marvel promoted that character throughout the years. And, you can still get Deathstroke's first appearance for a relatively good price, whereas Deadpool, it's like you gotta give up an arm, a leg, a kidney to get a high value New Mutants 98. So Marvel books always tend to have more value to them because Marvel knows how to market their books. They know how to, get people invested in those books. And, I don't like the whole modern craze with Marvel and some of their recent books that goes for high value, because I'm like, that book ain't worth it for me. I don't particularly care for new books being valued so high. Like to me, those are more overvalued than some mid-tier keys in the Bronze Age. I'm like, no modern book should cost more than the mid-tier key of
exactly.
Bronze Age. Yeah, so I don't like that aspect of it, but Marvel they do a great job with the marketing, the promoting, and building up new characters that people tend to gravitate to them more than the DC books. And it's kind of a shame because, like we talked about last week, DC has kind of done a poor job in building up some of their characters on the media side, whereas Marvel, just one little mention of a name and people automatically get all hyped up and stuff. Like when when Moon Knight was mentioned in Winter Soldier, I remember that small craze that people were talking about Moon Knight, coming to the MCU and stuff, and people like to big that up. So I think Marvel always got that advantage over DC, and it's always going to be overvalued because people look at the Marvel brand and they value it more than DC. Even if DC, I would say, have some better characters and a bigger, rich tapestry of history, but people just love that Marvel brand a lot more. And whenever something hot comes out Marvel, people gravitate towards it. So that's my take. I know there's going to be a lot of takes on it, but that's what I think why Marvel is overvalued. And I just wish they changed their fucking paper because that shit's trash, man. I mean, all that money Disney pump into them, and they still give us crappy ass paper, man.
Charmin 2-ply. Al?
Well, I mean, I've put, as far as it goes, my 2 cents in it. Sean touched on a lot of stuff, and I honestly think at this point, a lot of it, as far as the books being overpriced, are due in part to a lot of hype. There's a lot of hype. Some 15, 20, 25 years ago, comic collectors didn't have to deal with the type of things that we deal with today, simply because there were limited motion pictures out. I'm gonna give you an example. When the X-Men franchise came out for Sony, those books barely budged when it came down to like value. Even with giant size X-Men #1, those books didn't actually, spike in value because it was a situation where, a comic book movie came out. Oh, okay, cool, bam. And that was it. We all knew what books were considered to be those quote unquote holy grails of keys. We all knew what minor keys were, first appearance of the New Warriors, Thor 411. Those types of things, yeah, they're considered keys. But what's caused what I call a frenzy in the comic book market now is, these streaming services, like the Disney Plus and, to a lesser degree, HBO Max. When you have a situation where you have a Z-list character, and I keep going back to this dude like Battlestar that showed up in 2 or 3 episodes of Captain America, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and immediately once that person was found out to be in that series, that book shot up to levels that it shouldn't have shot up to.
Right.
And and I understand that sellers are out there trying to make whatever money they can. That it is what it is, but to buy that book, to have what's normally known as FOMO, because now that book is actually dropped because there's no more attention on Battlestar. So if you're one of those people that said, "Well, I got to get the first appearance of Lamar Hoskins," and you paid $75-$80 for that book when it came out, and they killed them, and now that book is $15, and you the fool. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't think that a lot of these books that we see, even with the introduction of certain characters, I don't think these books should actually jump up like that in price. But again, we're in a day and time where the market, eBay, for the most part, dictates prices. We're at a situation now where the eBayers, they feed off of the news of various YouTubers and the streaming services and stuff. Like the rumor that the Werewolf by Night series is going to be on Disney Plus. Now all of a sudden, the book that just came out 3 months ago, 4 months ago, is on the CBSI or the Covrprice top 10 list. Like, there's a disconnect there. And again, I get it. You trying to make money, you trying to sell books. I got it. But at the same time, I blame buyers, because if these books wouldn't be getting sold for this price if people weren't buying them. And at the end of the day, the way I see it is that Marvel at this point is more or less, they're the top dogs when it comes down to their, the books as far as prices of the books or whatnot. The sad situation, and I say this all the time, and I say it not only for myself, but for others that's out there trying to just collect books because they want to collect the series. Not everyone was into Nova back when Nova came out in the 70s. Some people just came across Nova 10, 15 years ago, 5 years ago, last year. And some of these people just want to collect these books because they want to read about Nova. That may be their new favorite character now. But then here comes the spec, well, Nova is guaranteed to be in the Guardians of the Galaxy Part 4 and stuff. Now, all of a sudden, Nova #1, which about 10, 15 years ago, I bought my copy of Nova, was what, $10 back then, is now $150, $200 book.
Right.
And Nova's nowhere to be seen. So at what point are you gonna say, well, man, golly, man, why are these books so high when you don't even have buzz for them? And like Sean said, goes back to a lot of these books, and G-Man mentioned it on last week's show. A lot of these modern books, man, it's insane. I remember, and I'm about to let it go, but I remember when we talked about on the show where Miles Morales, when they first dropped that PS4, PS5 Miles Morales game, and Ultimate Fallout, it went up in price. But any other book associated with Miles Morales went through the roof. The hip hop variant, which I should have sold mine, the hip hop variant was selling for $800-900 right after that game came out, and that was insane. It's dropped, but still, that's ridiculous for a hip hop variant of a volume 4 or 5 of Amazing Spider-Man. That's ridiculous. So yeah, Marvel books are overpriced when it comes down to value, because some of these books aren't worth it. Like I said, I got a 9.6 of that Miles Morales, but I don't see myself, if I didn't have it because I bought it for cover price, I don't see myself spending no $300, $400, $500 for that book, which is what is running now. Nowhere in the world, because that book holds no value to me. Now, Silver Age X-Men, the ones that I don't have for my collection, I'm on that all day because a lot of those books are worth it based on what they are. But a lot of this new stuff, man, like Remo said last week, the Kamala Khans and the the Totally Awesome Hulk, and all these new characters, I can't see the fact that these books are selling for as much as they are. But like X said, a lot of it has to do with a lot of the younger as far as the younger collectors coming in, where the Ultimate Fallout is their version of Hulk 181. But at the end of the day, which is going to be worth more money in the end? First appearance of Wolverine or first appearance of Miles Morales?
So even with that though being said, though, it always comes down to the person buying the book. So in 20 or 30 years, I see one of these new schools being a CEO of a corporation and saying, I got to have an Amazing Fantasy 15? Or are they going to want an Ultimate Fallout 4?
I think they're still wanting the Amazing Fantasy, man. Just because.
But what I'm saying, they don't know what that book is. It means nothing to them. Unless it's purely for investment purposes, the kids aren't looking for that book. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not the book they're looking for.
Let me throw this out there too. When you talk about Marvel books being overpriced and overvalued per se, what I've started noticing in the last, at least in the last several months, that I really paid attention, is that these books tend to hit these obscure peaks, and they never come down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like these books, like Ultimate Fallout 4. The game is over with, and as far as I know, I don't think I've heard anything new about Miles Morales, unless I'm missing something. But that book is still a sky high book. And then we go back to like last week's discussion. We talked about DC.
If you want to have all the Spider-Man, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I'm looking at it more so like when I remember when I got my money, when I bought me a Wolverine #1. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the book that eluded me as a kid. As soon as I got me a paycheck, I went and bought me a Wolverine #1. You know what I'm saying? And I was happy that I got it. It was a sense of accomplishment. I don't see a kid who's 18 or 21, 30 years from now, you know, be coming into some money saying, oh, I got to go and buy me an Amazing Fantasy 15. I just don't see that. You know what I mean? And I'm not taking anything away from the book. I'm just saying that that's for us. Those are our goals, not theirs. You know what I mean? Like, there might be some manga book that's graded at that point in time that they want the first one. It might be that One Punch Man might be the one book that they want to get, or Dragon Ball Z or something. I mean, I know that's kind of getting off the topic, but I mean, as far as the Marvel books go, I'll say this is that the Marvel books will always have a value. Like, they don't like what like when if there's a book that I like that maybe you don't like, it doesn't mean I can't sell that book to another person that likes it and go and buy the book that I like. You know what I'm saying? Like DC, I don't see where you have, unless you have the key books, it's harder to maneuver that way. Whereas there's so many books of value within Marvel that you can grab a couple of these books here and sell them and go and get that book you want. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
it's like it's easier to do something like that with the books. Now, I don't know if that means because they're overvalued or they just have consistent value. You know what I mean?
Al, go ahead.
I have to disagree with you on some of that, Remo. And the reason why I say that is because I have 3 nephews. They're into superheroes really hard.
Mm.
And I mean, I buy comic books for them. And all 3 of them are huge fans of Spider-Man. And they're younger than 11. The youngest one is 5 years old. And they love both Peter Parker and Miles Morales. So as far as it goes, yeah, I mean, if one of them got to the point to where they made, bank, being that they love comic books, I could see them 20 years from now wanting to buy Amazing Fantasy 15 because...
See, I look at my nephew, he's 12, you know what I'm saying? And he's right at that age where Miles Morales is to him what he sees daily. You know what I'm saying? It's someone of his age into the same stuff that he's into at this age right now, becoming Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Listens to the same type of music. You know what I'm saying? Wears the same shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like they're identifying more with that character than more so Peter Parker. Even though he's introduced to them, they're not grabbing on to Peter Parker. You know what I'm saying? Like they're grabbing on obviously Mark. You know what I mean? Like I just see like I don't see that book ever going down. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying as time goes on, that book is going to become in people's collection where it's not going to be sold as much. Like if you don't have one by a certain point, like you're not getting one. You know what I'm saying? And there's enough Ultimate Fallout 4s out there that these kids will be able to get one. You know what I mean?
And I get that, and I can understand that. I mean, for a kid, Miles Morales is to some kids is their Spider-Man, but you can't discount the fact that the original is always going to still be there. And like I said, for the 3 nephews that in my family that are huge comic book fans, they love them both.
Yeah.
So you have a situation where you may not have as many kids because some kids might relate to Miles Morales as opposed to Peter Parker. But let's just be honest, how much media is out there aside from comic books with Miles Morales as the main Spider-Man?
Yeah.
No, I mean, you're going to see time, but right. So, you're going to see kids. That's just not only inclusive to Spider-Man. That's
you got 5 years.
X-Men. You got all of them.
Yeah.
The Daredevil. There's just going to be books that they're going to want at some point in time because they may have family members that said, well, you know, this, that, and the third about this character. But
no, I agree. I mean, it's definitely Spider-Man is always. He's always going to be no matter what, because that's how I got into comics. You know, with Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I'm always going to love Spider-Man. But like, I guess it's like I always tell them, it's like you guys have way more options than we did. You know what I mean? Like we only had Peter Parker. You know what I mean? So naturally now there's 4 or 5 different Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Or at least 3.
Something like that.
12.
You know what I mean? So I mean, there's something for everybody. You know what I mean? And like I said, everybody's grails are always seem to be a little different. You know what I mean? So I definitely think price will, price will always factor into that. You know what I
mean? From a collecting standpoint, I will definitely say that Marvel books are overvalued because of FOMO. Hands down, is what has driven Marvel books to be what they are. Like, and you know, we see this every week when we do. You must be out your damn mind. You know, people will slap an MCU title on a comic book. You know, first appearance of blah blah blah, just because of some the possibility that they might be a rumor. Look at the Shang-Chi trailer when it first dropped, and everybody was like, "That's Abomination in the trailer." You know what I'm saying? Like, exactly. People flipped out because, oh man, it's Abomination in the trailer. Abomination ain't nobody. So because of speculation and the MCU being as big as it is, it really has driven Marvel books to that point of just astronomical ridiculousness when it comes to people pricing them and what they're asking for them. Like, just we look at it every week and it's like, yo, last year this book was hot because of whatever was going on, and this shit now is fault. That FOMO is driving people to buy a book, price a book at ridiculously high prices, and it's called they're getting away with it because somebody is afraid of missing out on getting this book. Like with Miles Morales. Miles got they just ended his clone saga. They you know what I'm saying? It's like they created his wholly original character, but then they did the exact same thing they did with Spider-Man. They gave him a clone saga, which he didn't need. It was entirely ridiculous that they did something like that with him. So it's just like you're creating all these quote unquote keys, first appearances of these variations, or as they call them, these variants of Miles Morales.
That's what we were talking about backstage. Like,
they're creating all these different variations and these variants of Miles Morales that everybody feels that they gotta get because if they miss out, you never know when he's gonna show up in a movie. And the reality is that the first appearance, if you want a first appearance, it shouldn't matter. For us, I'm a Superman fan. I own 2 copies of Action Comics #1. Both of them are reprints. I don't care because I'm a Superman fan, and I love the fact that I have an actual copy of Action Comics #1 in my collection. I don't care that it's a reprint. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to go out and get that key because I ain't got the money like that, but I'm also not going to chase the dragon like that to try to get it. And that's what people are doing with Marvel. They're making these books overvalued because they're chasing the dragon, trying to be the first one. Like in comment sections, when you used to see people like first comment, it's the same. It's the same thing. Everybody want to be on top. They want to be the first one to have that key issue of a certain character or whatever. And it's ridiculous.
Go. Right there. That's the comment right there. Right there. Yep. Yeah, that's the one. Today's comic characters have no weight or substance.
Yep. And that's kind of what I mean. Like, there's no the characters the kids now are identifying with besides Miles aren't in the MCU. Like, they're outside of Marvel and DC. Like, they're into manga and stuff. Right. There's nothing to do with Marvel. Like, you know what I mean? Marvel's gonna sell. You know what I'm saying? When corn and rice won't, but I'm saying it's always going to sell. And like you said, it's the people who, they're chasing that spec. So let me grab this book on opening day, and they always make their numbers.
And I think that's why Marvel is trying to speed up the process to get these characters in the movies. You know, we got Kamala Khan's going to be in she got her own TV series and is going to be in the Marvels. You got Riri Williams that we talked about a few weeks ago going to be in the second Black Panther movie. You know, and I guarantee you, whatever younger character that they're going to put in the movies, they're going to do modern characters. You know, like, say, for instance, Nova. A lot of us old school fans want Richard Rider, but Marvel might go with the Sam Alexander route because he's more recent and that.
Why would you not?
Yeah, and you know that might not go bode well for us older fans because that's the Nova that we grew up with was Richard Rider.
Yeah, but the kids are watching Sam Alexander on cartoons all day. You know?
But the thing of it is, the kids ain't buying the comic books. The adults are buying the comic books for the kids.
Exactly,
so that's a big difference. So when we talk about the sales of comic books, you ain't got no 6, 7, 8-year-old kids with no pull list.
Exactly.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, but that's what I mean. Like, the characters that they're making, if the kids like, there are no other characters that these kids like except for Miles Morales. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, he has substance. They built him up. They have no choice but to win with him. But these other characters they have the Marvel's Def Jam. You know what I'm saying? You can throw out a whole bunch of tapes on release day. 6 or 7 of them gonna stick. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna throw out 30 a week, and 6 or 7 are gonna, and that's enough. You're gonna keep printing it anyway. You know what I'm saying? It has to come out. So I just think that as a collector, you just be wise about what it is that you collect. And you won't have any issue as far as the books being overvalued because you'll be buying them at the price they're supposed to be. You know, you're not buying them after market, you know what I mean, on the secondary market because you missed out or whatever. You're getting books that you want. You know what I mean? Like, and most people who want books, they'll get them. They'll make sure they get the books.
I don't really consider Scott Lang to be modern because he was created more in the late Bronze Age. So Scott Lang been around a long time.
Yeah.
Hank Pym was the original Ant-Man, but Scott Lang wasn't too far off in terms of creation. Like, Pym was the 60s. Scott Lang was like late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah,
so he still felt like a character that we grew up reading as opposed to something like Sam Alexander.
Most people didn't, unless you really, really read the books, you didn't even know there was a handoff.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like Ant-Man was Ant-Man. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people even forgot they just considered him just Ant-Man. He always had the helmet on. You know what I'm saying? Like, rarely was it like certain stories that focused in on him. You know what I mean? Like, he had his couple of runs. Exactly. Exactly.
Ice cream man.
No ghetto D.
No ghetto D. But for real though, that's what I look at it. Like, every week they come out with 7 to 10 releases and only
bring that back, man. Hey man, look at that. Cain and Abel, bro. I ain't heard that name in like 20 years, bro.
Gangsta File.
Wow, you went, boy. IP went hard on that one, man.
Wasn't they like the B Squad and No Limits?
Man,
bro, you had that first wave.
X Squad.
Yeah, that was way down the totem pole, man. You had
it's
like a Wu-Tang. It's a killer.
It was down there with Matt.
Hey man, they were down there with Fiend.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? All the way down there. Like, you might get a record.
I remember seeing all those promotions, their stuff in Source Magazine and shit. Like, hey,
they were back there. Hey, they were back there on with the promo, with the Trick Daddy Dollar promo, way at the back of the magazine
with the food stamps.
Yep.
When Rick Ross was Willow.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, whoa.
Yeah, he went there.
Yeah, I just think, man, that Chris hit on it earlier, man, with the whole FOMO deal, man. I just think a lot of it's just in full overdrive now, man. You see books that come out in less than 2 or 3 weeks, man, and they're out selling books that are like 40 years old. It really blows the mind, you know. Now I'm not gonna complain because y'all know how I roll. If I can go get a good Silver Age book, way undervalued, underpriced, then absolutely I'm gonna go do it. But I just find it insane, man, that books come out and they come out with already with a $30, $45, $55 price tag. And like I said earlier, these books drop. They're brand new, and very rarely do I see. Now DC books will come out and they'll be hot, they'll go right down the toilet. But i.e. Death Metal number 1, number 3, whatever it was. But
Robin King.
the Robin King. But then you'll get like the new American Chavez that came out like number 5 or whatever. And then that book's not even 4 months old. And then that book is already like up the totem pole. Now, if someone new wants to say, you know what? Oh, I didn't realize they came out. I want to go back and buy that book. Well, now you got to pay the absorbent price because that price is not going to come back down. They're gonna slab it. The store owner's gonna recognize it. Oh, well, then they're gonna notate it on the sticker. Oh, first appearance of Johnny B. Bad's cousin.
Exactly. Right. Johnny Jenkins.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna have they're gonna have all kinds of notations on the book.
Exactly.
First time you wore the lapel pin.
Yep. And so you're stuck with that. And so I really think these. Me personally, I think these modern Marvel books are just to the moon. Oh, way overpriced. I mean, just to the point where it grinds your gears thinking about it. And so I think that with the advent, I think it was either Al or Sean said this. Back in the day, man, we didn't have the internet. All you had was a Overstreet price guide if you had one, if you could even afford one back then, because they was expensive, back then. The Overstreet price guide, or you actually read those old comic readers and stuff, so you knew what was going on.
Yeah, Wizard.
Mm-hmm. That's what the purpose of that was back in the day.
With a mile high inside of the book.
Well, you would know what's going on. Yep. You didn't have to deal with all that. It's like Al said, and he made a great point. I did not even think about that. About those X-Men movies. When X-Men came out, those books were still priced. It was some sense. Sean, you want to throw something in there, brother?
Iconic points. Recent comment. These second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh print.
Oh man, Jesus Christ!
It's like you see they solicited the second print before the first print even came out.
Yep.
And I'm like, how? Like, did you already know that you're gonna sell out, so you immediately solicited a second print? Like, come on, that makes no sense. Like, a second print come out the first week of the next month.
They're printing money, and it's like when you start seeing. I mean, even all the way, and I know I'm gonna go cross paths, but even over there with Stray Dogs, man.
Yeah, that was If you look back at it, that was huge money.
I mean, 8, 9, in 8, 9, 10 print
of a 5-issue miniseries.
Yeah,
and comic shops are selling the free comic book day one before free comic book day even happened.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Hot. This book's hot. Get it now.
That book's hot, man. That book's hot.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy, man. And then you see it's third, fourth, fifth. It used to take. A book would come out. It used to be a book would come out, and it would take like 6, 7 months, and then you see a second print.
Yep.
You're seeing second prints within 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. You're seeing second prints before second. Like look at Nice House on the Lake.
Yeah, bingo with ratio variant of reprints. Yeah, absolutely. And I just saw today. And I know this is not Marvel related, but I saw this today. Y'all remember that book, House of Slaughter? Y'all remember that? The one out, free comic book, through the roof, taking them off shelves, they hiding them. Oh, I just saw ratio variant about to drop in a couple weeks. I told folks, I said, all these shine bones that are out there marking this book up are going to have paperweight. Because they're going to drop a ratio variant that's going to erase that shit. Because everybody's going to do what? Shift and go after what? Yep. The ratio variant.
Look at Silk. Silk was only a 5-issue run or whatever, and they did reprints on it, much like with Nice House on the Lake. the first issue come out on the 2nd of the month, and the second issue is gonna come out on the 15th. But then we already getting reprints of the first issue, and the only difference, at least with Silk, the only difference between the only way to know which ones were the reprints by looking at the cover was because they changed the color of the spider in the title of them. That's how you knew what the reprints were.
Look at that fiasco. We were talking about Spider-Man. Look at that fiasco about 3 months ago. What was it? 3 months ago, Sean? We're gonna change the uniform to that bullshit uniform.
Spider-Man 62.
What happened to that?
Yeah,
that shit came and went.
Yeah, then folks was going up and on. Oh man, I got it. Oh wow, new uniform. 1 in 50, 1 in 100, 1 in 25.
Yep.
You've been selling to Walmart, right?
Man, you can go get them books at Atlanta Braves game, man, with a hot dog.
Man,
I mean, yep. But the consensus here is that yes, the books are overvalued and overpriced, and they will remain that way for the near future.
Oh yeah.
You just gotta try and be as smart as possible.
Yep. Yeah.
And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I think it's just an unfortunate circumstance that we live in a time where you can no longer go to a comic book store and pick up books either from a specific run or for the most part, like you mentioned, Matt, brand new books, because as soon as buzz hits, I mean, this is just not relegated to Marvel, but DC too, or in independents, especially independents that you have to pay double, triple, quadruple of what the book is worth, per the MSRP. But I think, man, at some point in time, and a lot of people, I've been seeing articles on the internet about this. A lot of people that are heavy into like the comic book industry are afraid that we might be looking at another collapse. And they're saying that if it happens again, the comic book industry might not be able to recover.
Right.
So it's something to consider.
I think that crash is going to be the way I think the crash would, if we were to have a crash, it would probably be on these modern books, man, because most of this stuff, man, is not worth the weight it's been printed on. Most, not all, most, and that's just my personal feelings on it. I just,
Kurt.
I don't think a lot of this. I mean, like I told you, you got these books that are going out retconning. Think about this. Remember X-Men Gold? Gold?
Yes. Iconic Point is coming with the bangers tonight. Hey, man.
Hey, he got $5.99. Shit, he must think he's new DC books.
Hey, Bump the Kid, a grown man shouldn't have to work a full-time job to buy books.
Man, you don't know?
I mean, honestly.
$6.99, $7.99.
Man, I have got at least 15 books on my pool, and the average one of these books is like $3.99. If 6 or 7 books come out in 1 week at $4 a pop, that's like, dang, my math is off. What's that? $28 maybe?
Yeah, but put like this: the average amount that you spending at the store on a Wednesday is about between anywhere from the range of 30 to 42.
Right.
I've got, on average, I get about 13 books a week. And the only way I cut down the cost of me, my cost went from about 70 to 80 a week to down to about 60, is because I cut out buying variant covers because of that extra dollar charge that sometimes comes. DC charges an extra $1. So if the book's $3.99, the variant cover's $4.99, and the book's $4.99, the variant's $5.99. And then sometimes Marvel, has just got it ain't even a variant cover. It's just whatever the comic is or whatever. And it's, you're looking at, $6.99 depending on the comic. Look at when DC just did their last thing that they did, and
$6.99, $7.99.
The Superman World at War comic book that was $9.99. It was $10 for the comic book. Yeah.
See that Maddox right in the chat, 32 a week. That's what just about everybody who goes on Wednesday pays about $32. Most of us. It's astronomical.
Yep.
They keep going up
What's up,
and
Colby?
up and up.
Yeah, that about 32 a week. Yeah, is what you're looking at.
And at best, you get what, 7 books, 8 books,
maybe.
maybe.
Maybe depending on what you read.
Yep, and then those same books are going to be shut down, and they're going to restart them at number 1.
Right.
Within a year.
And we ain't talking about variant covers that might catch your eye. So that's an extra,
right,
$4 or $5, like you just said, Chris. So,
and you hope you can get that at the actual price.
Right.
What's gonna happen is we've talked about it in our messenger. That they're gonna keep doing this, and what's gonna happen is people are gonna start flocking towards the mini runs, like we talked about. The comic is only a 5-issue run. You know what I'm saying? Like I can, if my comic books are gonna start costing me, more every week, and then y'all gonna keep restarting them, and so I got to start all over again. And what's the point of trying to get comic books for the longevity? I might as well get this comic book that's only gonna be 5 issues at $3.99 an issue for the next couple weeks. And
I saw a guy this week. I saw a cat this week, man, at Barnes and Noble. Man, he was in there buying the trades. He was just like, you know what? He said, I can't afford to go to the store, and trying to buy these books when they come out. He said, I just have to wait for the trades to come out.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people do that.
And you know what community has grown over the last couple of years? And that's the omnibus community.
Yep.
Over the last, I would say, 10 years, that community has grown a lot more because people, why spend a lot of money on single issues when they could spend their money on like maybe an omnibus, 2 trades, hardcovers, and stuff like that, and get all their reading material right there.
Right there.
Yeah. Yep, I agree.
The scary part of that is that a lot of the issue that you see with the omnibus and the trades is that some of them may get that Blue Marvel treatment. And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, the Legend of the Blue Marvel that came out, like I think in 2007, 2008, that gonna trade probably about $400 or $500 for a trade paperback because the print run was so low on the original. I think it went 5 issues to where people were jacking up the price of the trade. So, hopefully that won't affect that particular market, but I can see it happening.
All right. And with that, we're going to shut that down. And it is now time for... We can get some feedback tonight, fella.
Somebody, it ain't me. I don't know who it is. Some devil.
Somebody. Yeah. The devil is busy tonight.
A live stream devil.
Gremlins.
Yeah. Somebody post some water on what's his name?
On Gizmo.
All right. On Gizmo. All right. We're going to start tonight with Chris.
Yep. I actually made it to the stove. So I'm not even going to do everything, but I'll do a couple of little. So I picked up the newest Black Label, Superman versus Lobo.
Hey, what's up with his jaw?
Man, I don't even know. Like,
hey, put that back up right quick. Why he look like Cliff from the Fairy Godparents?
He look like the chin.
Yeah,
the Crimson Chin. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Had to pick up my Static.
Like Danny Zuko.
And I had to get this cover for it. There was no way. This cover was too dope for me.
Yeah, man, I'm a hard cover.
Picked up talking about miniature runs. Picked up the last issue of the Mini Deaths of Layla Starr. Had to hunt down the foil cover. Had to go out to Infinite Realities to get it. All 4. I had all 4 have the foil cover, so I had to get the foil cover for the last issue just to make my comic book OCD feel complete. I couldn't have one issue without the foil cover. I couldn't do it. Finally picked up an issue of Superman 78. And I'm looking to see if there's a Virgin for the other issue. Al, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm gonna keep hunting around to see if somebody is gonna do a Virgin or if they're gonna put out a Virgin copy of it. Picked up Defenders #1 cover that we talked about last week.
Momo.
Picked up both copies. They only had 2 on the shelf. I picked them both up. Covrprice. Picked up her Demon Days with Mystique. Her Mystique cover for Demon Days. Curse Web. I mean, that I don't know how much I'm gonna keep following the story because it's jumping around. Like the original premise was, it's gonna be the X-Men, and then next thing you know, we talking about all kinds of other stuff. And right, yeah, they're all different one shots. I thought it was gonna be a continuum of one story, and it just Icon and Rocket #2. Definitely had to get. And then of course, Something's Killing the Children 19.
I was gonna say something about Baron, but he do look like something wrong with him.
I ain't gonna never see that. Now I'm never gonna not see that now. Like that's going.
You wanna fuck with me?
I'm never gonna not see that now. Dang.
Say hello to my little friend.
On that galactic shit.
Picked up Balance #4.
Space Age Pimpin'.
Space Age Pimpin'. And that's pretty much everything else is a big stack, but I'll do a little miniature haul video for that because I had 2 weeks worth of comics to go pick up.
All right, we coming over to Brother Al.
What you see is what you get.
Nothing.
Yeah, I got
Invisible Man #1.
Yeah, I got Layla Star 2.
Yep, it's a really good story.
Yeah, I got to get #3. #3 is the only one that I don't have the foil cover for, so I got to get that. And Infinite Frontier #5.
I picked that up, but the variant connecting cover because I got the other 4 connecting covers.
Geiger #6. Basilisk #4 or chapter 4. And I got this cover. I like it. I don't even know who this is. It might be Betsy Braddock Aquanan, but Inyok Lee, Hellions 14.
Hellions has been a surprisingly good read so far.
I got this book and it was in my box, surprisingly, and I need to go back and get the A cover. I thought this was the A cover, but it is called Echo Lands.
Ooh.
And this is the B cover, but the crazy part of it is,
oh man, it reads that way.
Sideways, yeah.
Oh man,
it's sideways.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. But that's all I got for tonight.
All right. All right, we've got Archie 155. We've got Tomahawk 121.
Not a Tomahawk?
No, that's Tomahawk. Yeah, throwback Tomahawk. I have killed an Indian boy.
Not an Indian boy.
No, man. Boy, that would not fly today, boy.
Man, you don't know.
Boy, Tomahawk would be canceling shit, boy.
And with the quickness.
We got Superman Action Comics 807.
Nice.
Darkwing Duck.
Boy, getting choked out.
Choked up, man. We have Defenders 84. We have Spawn 208.
Sacrilege.
And we have Sports Illustrated Beyonce.
Oh,
Newsstand.
Hey, you just grabbing up anything, man.
Hey,
I got Halle Berry on For Him magazine. Does that work anything?
Yeah, that'll work.
it might be if you get her to
Make
sign
me
it.
feel special. All right, that's
He's gonna pull out some more Jet magazines the next time.
All right. Got Last Days of Ant-Man, #1. I think I got this on an auction. One of those dollar auctions. My LCS is closing up, so they sold to Torpedo, so everything must go, and everything was half price or crazily discounted. So got Nonstop Spider-Man. I think this is a 1 in 50. We got it for like $1. Venom #21. Kareem Randolph variant. This is Venom #27, like the 4th print. Grab one of these Werewolf by Nights #2. #1 gonna be worth something. I'm sure #2 gonna have something. Got Miss Marvel #3 to finish out the run.
nice.
Congrats.
Thank you, sir. Grab the Ultimate Fallout 4 facsimile.
That'll be 125 in a couple weeks.
Man, crazy. This is got this out of the back issue bin. The Captain America #14, Sam Wilson.
That's gonna go up when his movie come out.
Yeah, we'll see. Got a better copy of Ninja Turtles #7.
Oh,
I bought this off the rack as a kid, and then my LCS had one on the wall, and it was in a way better condition than the one I got. Not way better, but you know what I'm saying? Grab that one. I think this is the first issue when they turned color. I got to read it again. I mean, I read the hell out of the other one. I think this is the first one when it goes color. Grabbed another New Mutants 50. Real nice condition. Gotta grab the Nocterra cover B. I got a few of these, but just in case. The Dutchy SOB cover. Got a couple of those.
Doom.
Grab a couple of these Black Panther 4s. Got the Doom on the cover. Dr. Afra #2, 1 in 50.
I want them wanted poster covers that they doing for Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
dope. Those look real dope.
Grab this Solo #1.
Solo
Movie variant.
That should have Mario Van Peebles on it though.
I know, right? I'd rather get that one. This is Dr. Afra #2, 1 in 25 with the Death Droids. Afra #6, 1 in 25. Dark Ages #1, 1 in 25. Dark Ages regular #1 they cover. Thought this was dope. This is Dark Knight's Death Metal. Comes with a floppy vinyl with Denzel Curry.
Nice.
Really?
Play that boy Zay or whatever. Playboy Zay or whatever.
Wow, that's what's up.
And then grab these for my daughter. The Demon Days Cursed Web, the A, B, and the C cover. This was mine. I keep this one. These two are for her.
Like those don't go to her.
Yeah, right. And then he had this in there, so I grabbed this Ironheart trade paperback, all 12 issues. So got that for like $5, so can't go wrong with that. So that's my haul. Got some other stuff, but I'll show that in the video.
Part 2.
Looking forward to it, man.
Sick.
I got Red Sonja #1. This is the new series by Mirko and Dolfo. So look forward to checking that out. Savage Dragon 260.
Now, what's the deal with that cover?
That's the first appearance of Torment.
It's like recalled or something like that.
I really don't know, to be honest.
I didn't hear anything about that. Yeah, I didn't hear anything about that.
I heard they recalled that cover. It was supposed to be recalled. The shop put them out. So
I did see another cover.
Yeah, I think they recalled that one.
Static #3. God Awful Sinister War story of Spider-Man. Barbaric #3. Vampirella #23. Something is Killing the Children #19. Still getting Sonya Versal. This issue #7. Superman Son of Kal-El #2. This is the N-Hook Lee variant.
Oof. And it's so pretty.
Icon and Rocket #2. Doom House of Arteries #9. And Vengeance of Vampirella 21. And that is my haul.
All right.
And Turk says it's a misprint.
Oh, okay. Did not know that. Yeah, I just spit it up because collect Savage Dragon. All right. Well, before we go, we have a special. Make it a change here. Special announcement. If I can get my graphics right here, my on the fly graphic. There we go. Special announcement, Brother Al. Would you like to tell the people what is going on?
Mm-hmm. I will. Mark your calendars for September 18th, 8:45. We're gonna start on time that night. We actually have our first special guest that we are going to have on the show. And let me do this right quick. We're gonna have the author of, can y'all see that on the screen?
Yep.
We will have the author of White, as well as the series Black. His name is Kwanzaa Osajefo, and he will be on the show that night, September 19th. We'll be interviewing him, getting some information on this series and other stuff that he's going to be working on. This happens to be a pretty hot book as of late. It's going to, I think this is going to the third print because the first print sold out like hotcakes. But yeah, he's going to be on the show. So mark your calendars for September 18th. So hopefully we'll have a roaring time talking to him and picking his brain for some stuff. I actually have all of his collected stuff up until this. I don't have White #1, but I have all his other stuff. Black as fuck. Well, Black AF, excuse me. Devil's Died, the whole nine. It's a pretty good read. So if y'all aren't familiar with his work, check him out. He's a really good author. So, but that's what we got going on. Again, that's September 18th.
All right. Make sure you mark your calendars. Make sure you stay locked in right here. Comic Hall Crew. Check us out on IG. Remo is working on part 2. And Sean, what you got coming down the pipe?
I should have a chatting with the comic community next Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, and I know me and VV should be doing the Friday movie talk this coming Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern. We haven't picked the movie yet. I'm hoping to at least kick off the Man with No Name trilogy, and cover all 3 of those movies separately. And if there's a comic call next week, I'll probably be on there.
No, next week. I think next week, Al, are we not supposed to be special guests on?
Well, we don't know yet. So
okay, got a couple. We
it's kind of up in the air.
Yeah, we'll be popping up in a few different places. So make sure y'all keep a eye keep an eye out on where we'll be.
I will say that special guest, the special appearance, it should happen. If you're talking about the Sunday one,
yeah,
then that should happen.
Okay.
I'm still waiting on a response. I'm waiting on a response from him. And that was about 2 days ago. So
what about the Thursday one?
That one he said something about the 16th because he's gonna be out of town.
Okay, all right.
On vacation. I put a message in the chat, and folks treat me like Charlie Brown, man. Nobody want to pay attention to what I got to say. So.
They moved the football on you, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, with that, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to shut it down tonight, and we hope everybody has a great weekend. Once again, make sure you check us out on IG, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for staying with us tonight, and we will be off, but then we'll be back on the 18th once again with our special guest. Make sure you check us out. All right. For everybody here, Comic Hall Crew, everybody have a safe Labor Day. Enjoy yourself, and don't party too hard because you got to get your ass up on Tuesday and go to work. Peace.